So hi, Chris. How you doing today?
Oh. Yeah, very good, Ben. Yeah, thank you. All well.
Yeah. So you had a great career, 5 England caps, but you're now the head of the Tottenham Academy. How's that new role going for you?
Well, I'm head of coaching because we have a head of academy, so I've got to make sure I don't take his role. But I've got a new role as head of coaching for the under-17s to under-23s. It's a new role for me, but I've really enjoyed it so far. Obviously, I've managed and been assistant manager at various places, but I was willing to take on the new role, and thoroughly enjoying it so far.
And also, you're working in Gareth Southgate's England coaching set up with some of the best young players in England, like Phil Foden and Jadon Sancho. How has it been working with them, and what's your advice seeing those players for the Chelsea City Academy players?
Well, to be honest with you, it's been quite exceptional seeing these guys day in, day out. When we're in camp, how they prepare, their ability is quite amazing, really. And I think it shows that the academy system, I know Jadon, you mentioned him, is in Germany, but he's been coached here at Watford and Manchester City before moving abroad. But it goes to show that the coaching in this country is at a really good level. We are producing players at all levels. It is about opportunity, and it is about perseverance. I think a lot of the time you can move players on, or players who don't come through at pro clubs may move down, like your lads at Chelmsford, but you can always come back up. And I think the most talented players will always come through. Foden has always been highly thought of from when he was sort of 10 and 11, and he's had good coaches along the way at academy level, and now he's got one of the best in the world who believes in him. If you're a young player and the coach believes in you, that goes a long way. It goes a real long way, because you have to have a relationship as a coach with a player. It's very important to the player. Elliott would tell you from his experience that, if you get on with a manager who believes in you and trusts you, you tend to do better. But I would say to those lads at Chelmsford, not only tonight, but in the future, to keep believing in themselves and each other, because, you can always come back. And I think sometimes you have to find your level to really excel and show everyone what you can do. And once you find that level, it's up to you then to really give everything that you've got. Have to show your ability every time you train, show your motivation, push others, but more importantly, push yourself. I think as a young player, it can be quite easy to stop. And I think it's those moments where it gets a bit tough, where you actually come through. So, I know they've got a massive game this evening. And I'm sure with what they've been told by their coaches, the game plan and the organisation, then it's just about going out there and executing it and performing. They have nothing to lose tonight, and I think it's great for all those young players this evening to experience a big FA Youth Cup game, because it's always a big moment for anyone in the competition, but definitely at the academy professional level, it's a big moment. So Ipswich will be thinking about it tonight, but let's hope there's an upset.
And we've got Elliott Ward alongside me, who's the Clarets Academy assistant manager. How do you and Elliott know each other? Did you play together, or?
Many years ago, we played together in 2005, and we got to the playoff final actually and won
West Ham, was it? Yeah.
And I was left back. Woody was left centre half. Yeah. So actually, I was sort of, I was 35 then, towards sort of the end of my career, and he was just up and running. But he excelled that year. That if I talk about a young player, You know, Elliott was a young player in a club where the pressure's on to perform, and he handled it really well. He had a manager who believed in him, put him in the team. And, you know, we believed in him. There was myself, Teddy Sheringham, you know, lads like that who believed that Elliott should be in the team. And I think having that experience will help him now coaching, you know, younger players in similar positions. But I took Wardy as well on loan when I was at Huddersfield, so I didn't forget about him many years on when I was managing. And he did particularly well for us there. But sadly, I got the sack, so maybe it was Wardy's fault.
And Elliott's just started his managerial career with the academy. What advice would you give him as a manager?
I think it's a good place to start. I spoke to Elliott, you know, a few months back after a Zoom call because he's on his coaching journey, and you know, I spoke to him and many others about the start and about your beliefs, but about the experience and getting out on the grass and getting yourself in situations and putting yourself in positions where it's never easy. Coaching never easy. You know, I think sometimes people think it's a very easy sort of switch from being a player to a coach. But when you're a player, it's all done for you. You just go out there and perform and do what you're good at. As a coach, you have to plan. You have to look at the numbers. You have to expect the unexpected. And unless you go through those experiences, you don't progress. So, you know, Elliott's doing that now. You know, you can plan the night before for, you know, 14 players. You come in the next day and you've got 13, someone's injured, or, you know, and you have to sort of adjust and be fluid and be able to adapt. And that's the life of a coach, to do that, but also not be afraid to make mistakes, and sort of assess yourself after each session. Was that good? Did I get out what I wanted to get out? Because basically that's what coaching is for me. It's about putting players in positions where they problem solve. But if they can't, you tell them, and you tell them how you want to see it. And then you just carry on from there, you know, and you develop individuals with technical sessions, but also you develop the team with, you know, other sessions, which I'm sure they've been doing with regards to this game this evening. So the life of a coach will always change. And I think also you find exactly what level you want to coach at. You know, are you good with young players? Are you good with young boys or girls or women's team or seniors? I think once you find that out, you should stick to that. You know, and I think that's a big thing. You know, I've never really coached any younger than 16. When I was doing my coaching badges at Leicester, I coached in the evenings young players, but then I really started at under 23s and seniors, and that's all I've done since, because that's my niche. But you know, we've got good coaches at Spurs and good coaches I've had over the years that have been brilliant with sort of the 8 to 12 age group, you know, and that's where they excel. And you know, I think if you do that, I think you have a better sort of life as a coach, because then you're just in your area of expertise. But you know, you learn along the way, you make mistakes along the way, and that's the life of a coach and a manager.
Anything you want to ask Chris, Elliott?
Yeah, no, we've just spoken to the boys about the game. I just said to them, you know, in these bigger moments in your career, don't let them pass you by. It's something that was said on the day that we played together in that final. Don't let the game pass you by.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what I've just told the boys. They didn't understand what I meant, so I had to explain it, which is this is teenagers. So that's our message to them. It's enjoy the game.
Yeah.
You know, we're here to win, and don't let it pass you by. But
yeah,
before I go and warm them up, is there anything else you think is quite important for them to know?
I just think they've got to show energy. There's no crowd, is there? Sadly. No. So I think they show their energy and their personality as individuals, but more importantly as a team. They might have a setback during the game, but you just keep going. you know, it's a one-off game.
Mm.
And I always think when it's a one-off game, you know, the pressure is all on Ipswich. Everyone's expecting them to get the result. But actually, in a one-off game, anything can happen. You know, they've got to stick in there. They've got to stick to the game plan, whatever your game plan is. If it's to defend deep and counter-attack, you know, to believe in that and trust that from yourself and the head coach. Because, you know, if that's the way you're going to go and what you've seen, then, you know, do it and make sure that, you know, they do it for the team and for each other. Because, you never know, all of a sudden it could be 0-0 with 80 odd minutes to go. They got to hang in there, and that's the big thing. Because, you know, they know 9 times out of 10 they shouldn't win, but this evening might be the one. It might just be the 1 out of 10, and that's what I hope for you guys tonight. Yeah,
the magic of the cup could strike, hopefully, for us today. I think that's great, Chris, and thanks for your time tonight, and up the Clarets tonight.
Yeah, no problem, anytime. And, you know, I wish obviously Elliott well and all the players, and hopefully you get through and you might play Tottenham in the fourth round. We're in the third round.
The winner plays Fulham tonight, so if we get through, it's at home again if we get through. So.
Well, I've seen Fulham this year, and they're not bad. So you know, hopefully you can play them. They gave us a good game. We beat them, but they weren't bad. They were under 18. So listen, who knows? Beat Ipswich, beat Fulham, play Tottenham in the next round. That'd be great.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Chris. Great to get your thoughts ahead of the game
problem.
tonight.
Ali, take care, mate.
Cheers, guys. All the best.